configuration of ALFACRM, we have identified 5 main steps that we recommended to set the system up. Input your database, add schedule and season tickets, set up sources and items, set up access rights for employees, add in teachers. To input data into the system, save the Excel file in CSV UTF-8 format. To prepare a file for download to the system, you need to divide the data by file according to the sections: lead, students, teachers. Each data section must be saved in a separate Excel file. There must be only one worksheet in the file, and column names must be specified in the first row. If you created multiple branches in the system, you will also need to create and download your own files for each branch. It's important to not to have any empty cells in the customer name column. If you don't know the name, you can enter a phone number there or enter unknown. There may be any number of columns in the file and in any sequence. When the file is loaded in the system, you will be able to match the columns in the file and the fields in the lead card. To make the input, you have to go to the Leads or Customers section, click Other, click Input from File, and click Upload CSV. When the file is loaded, click Pass Headings and then click Set the fields to match. In the left column, there will be a list of headers from the downloaded file. In the right column, an example of field information from the second line of the file. In the Complaints in CRM, select which field in the lead card to load the information from each column. The complaints of the name field of the lead is important to fulfill the input. If you don't want to move information from some columns, you may not specify a match for those columns. Then the information from those columns won't be loaded. After selecting a match, save the information and click Save and run the input and refresh the page in the browser. You can also send us your file and we will help you download it. Now you have to add schedules and tariffs. You can create a schedule in a Lessons section. There are 2 options of adding classes: one-time and regular lesson. You can add one-time lesson using the plus on the top panel or the Add button in the Lessons section. A regular or permanent schedule is created for trial lessons in the Lessons section through the other button, Add. For a group lesson, in the Group card, in the Regular Lessons block. If you want to add regular lessons, you have to click Add, select days, duration of your lesson, room, subject, teacher, and period. To add automatic dates, you need to add tariffs. You can do this in a tariff section of the menu on the left. To add a subscription, click the Add button at the top. In a new window, in the first field, you need to specify the name of the tariff. In the second, you need to select the type of subscriber. The type of the subscription is used if the cost of one lesson is fixed and does not change depending on the number of lessons per month. A monthly subscription type is used when the cost of the lesson is not fixed and the client pays the cost of lessons in the month. A weekly subscription type can be used when the customer buys a subscription for a week and with the unlimited number of classes. You have to add the tariff to the client card. You have to click Add, select the tariff you need, and enter the period of validity, and then you have to choose the calculation type. The base account, it's when you make all the customer settlements on the customer's base account and advanced account. we create a new account, you should make a deposit and calculations on it. Then you select the subject and the lesson types. By the way, you can select them all. Click the Save. If you want to be able to evaluate each lead source, you have to add source of advertising. Go to the System Settings, range sign in the top panel, Lead Sources, and then you can add all sources you have. You have to write down the source code and write down the name of the source. To see the effectiveness of source, you can generate a source report in the Leads section. Go to Leads, click Reports, and then you have to click the lead sources. Choose the period, and here you go. Use subject in CRM settings, educational process settings, subjects. Access to the system can be provided to the client in his personal card, so he can view his schedule, homework, or pay for lessons. You have to click to the Access to CRM, grant, enter his email, and set the password. You can grant access to an educator in the CRM access section. The teacher should have a card in the Teachers section. You can also add your administrators and managers and restrict their access to sections. You can do this in CRM access in role management mode. The role management mode is here. You can add your teachers in the Teachers section. So your teachers could conduct classes in the system, you can conduct wage calculations for them and plan classes. There are two methods of wage calculation: services percentage and fixed and progressive rates. To add teacher a bet, you need to go to his personal card, use add button in the hourly rates. The value field indicates the rate amount of the percent. In the calculation type field, you select the rate condition. For those who attend the lesson, for those who missed, in case you also select the reasons for skipping for which it will be awarded. For those who visited and missed, with the choice of skipping reason too. Next, you have select the right validity period, the branch in which it will operate, the subject and the lesson type. You have a different rate for different subjects or duration of lessons. You'll have to add your own rate for each. You can also set up a progressive rate, for example, for a specific numbers of customers in a lesson or a specific lesson duration. Moreover, you can add the ability to increase the rate in proportion to the duration of number of customers in the lesson. If you have any question, you can write us in the right bottom corner. Here's a chat with us.